Hey everyone, it is Sunny here. Let me just double check that we are live, and let me start out by apologizing. I just realized I scheduled this for 2 and it is 2 my time, and it's 2:30, and I had thought I did it at 2:30. So I apologize for being just a few minutes late. Well, 30 minutes late, not a few minutes. Okay, so today I'm just trying to find my slides. Today we're going to talk about your elevator pitch and why it's important, and what we can do as far as honing it in, nailing it, and how to do that. So let's start with understanding why, what it is, and why you do it. So basically an elevator pitch is a statement. It's a statement that you very quickly describe what you do and who you serve. And you want to have it to where it's almost like you could say it in your sleep. So very well practiced, something that if somebody says, oh, hey, what do you do? And you're very quickly able to kind of rattle off who you do, or who you are, what you do, and who you serve. We're going to get into that in a few minutes. But the reason it's called an elevator pitch is you really want it to be less than a minute, and the shorter, more concise, but very powerful is most important, because they say, or how this kind of came about, is that you have about the time that you're on a ride on an elevator to make a connection. And so that's why they call it the elevator pitch. So it's not a sales pitch. I don't want you to think that. You're not trying to sell anybody anything during your elevator pitch. It's specifically about you, and you're working to make a connection. So you're not selling anything. You're just working to make that connection. It is, a good way to introduce yourself. You can introduce yourself to anybody that is asking you, oh, who you are, what do you do? If you're just meeting a new person for the first time, whether that's at a family gathering or a party, or maybe a neighborhood block party or something like that. So any type of informal event. You could do this at formal events as well. So let's say you do some type of networking event, and you go to this networking event and you have to kind of go around the room and say who you are and what you do, or maybe you're just kind of mingling, or maybe you're at a leadership conference or something like that. And it could also be a great opening statement if you intend on going out to obtain a position in this field versus having your own practice. So it can really be used for a lot of different things. And it's a really important thing to kind of hone in on and really nail down. Okay, so I've got a couple of slides just to make it a little bit more easier to understand. And so let me just go ahead and share this real quick with you. And here we are. Okay, so these are the primary parts of the elevator pitch. The elevator pitch, like I said, is going to talk about who you are, what you do, and your unique selling point. Your unique selling point is also known as how you're different. So what sets you apart from every other nutritionist or herbalist or pharmacist or acupuncturist or whatever you are, what sets you apart from all the others? How are you unique, and what do you bring to the table that maybe others don't bring? And so that kind of brings in together these last three: the problem solution and the positive result. So in a very short statement, or in a very short sentence, you're very quickly going to say the problem that you fix, or the problem that your clients have, the solution that you bring to them, and what's the positive outcome, or what is the positive result that they get from that. And don't worry, I'm going to give you some examples here in just a second. Okay, so the unique selling point, or why you're special, is really important to nail down. So this can make or break your elevator pitch. It needs to be very concise, right? So you've heard me say this a million times, that the words that you use matter. You want to use the words that your client base is going to use, not the words that you would use as a clinician, because sometimes we use really big words that people wouldn't typically say. Like, let me see if I can come up with an example. So somebody wouldn't say, well, I really wish that my digestive tract would get under control and I could really heal my increased intestinal permeability so that I no longer had nutrient deficiencies that were really kind of bothering me. So clients aren't going to say that, but they might say something like, I really wish I could get control of the bloat. It really bothers me. I'm tired of my hair falling out. My nails are so weak and I just feel like crap. So those are the words that your client base would use if you're in the digestive health kind of area. But hopefully that kind of narrows it down for you as far as using the words that your client base would use, not the words that you would use. And so here's another example. So this example actually comes from Donald Miller. Donald Miller is an amazing guy in the marketing world. He wrote a book called Building Your Story Brand. If you've never read it, it's really good. And it basically teaches you, it's an easy read, but it basically teaches you how to hone your copy skills, but speak more in the language of other people. So you want to speak more in the language of the people that you're trying to reach. So whether that's your niche or your ideal client avatar. So you want to speak their language versus having them try to decipher your language. And so this is an example that he gives often. So if somebody is trying to sell, let's say, nutritional packages that allow equestrian products to flourish, right? So that's like a fancy way of saying it's a supplement that you sprinkle on horse food to allow them to live a year longer. You're not going to say nutritional packages that allow equestrian products to flourish. You're going to say the other statement. I develop supplements that you sprinkle on horse food that allows for the horse to live a year longer. Very clearly what you do. So that's what you do, you would add, I'm Sunny Brigham, I'm a veterinarian, and I created a supplement that you sprinkle on horse food to allow them to live a year longer. So my unique selling point is that I have a supplement, it is one of a kind, and you can sprinkle it on horse food, so it's very easy to consume, and it's going to extend the life of your horse. So it's a very short and concise statement, but it's used in the words of layman's terms, what people can understand. So you want to make sure that your unique selling point or the rest of your elevator speech is in the words that your client base would use or in the words of those individuals that you're really trying to reach. And I've got some examples here for you. Let's see. I lost my screen. I had to find my screen again. Hold on. Oh no. Let me stop sharing and then we're going to go back because for some reason my screen disappeared. I am so sorry. Okay, so here's an example. So this would be an example of an elevator speech. So I'm Emily, I'm a functional nutritionist, and I help new moms ditch the frustration of getting their kids to eat vegetables by teaching them in a step-by-step manner how to get their toddlers to love broccoli. So we're going to break this down. So who you are, you're Emily. What you do, you're a functional nutritionist that helps moms get their kids to eat vegetables, right? Which I think a lot of moms would love for their kids to eat vegetables. And the unique selling point is the problem is that kids won't eat their veg and it causes the mom stress. The solution is getting the toddlers to love broccoli without fighting at the table anymore. And the result is a happy mom and a healthy kid. So you can allude to that without putting all of that in there. Or you could even put that all in there. You could say, I'm Emily, I'm a functional nutritionist, that I help new moms ditch the frustration of getting their kids to eat vegetables. I help in a step-by-step manner get toddlers to love broccoli with no more fighting at the table. So it's a happy mom and a healthy toddler. So you could kind of explain it that way. Okay, then we got another example here. It says, I'm Sharon, I'm a clinical nutritionist. I help women lose weight and slide into their skinny jeans by helping them ditch the calorie counting apps and learn what foods their bodies love. So who you are, you're Sharon. What you do is you're a clinical nutritionist that helps women lose weight. The problem is calorie counting, right? So I don't know anyone that loves to track their food and loves to count calories. So you're going to fix that problem. So you're going to fix the problem of counting calories with the solution of helping them reframe their thoughts around foods and alter their behaviors, with the result of weight loss without dieting. And you can even say that. You can say, I'm Sharon, I'm a clinical nutritionist. I help women lose weight and slide into their skinny jeans by helping them ditch the calorie counting apps, learn what foods their bodies love, and get weight loss without dieting. You can add the last bit if you want, but it's almost assumed in this instance, right? Because who doesn't want to slip into their skinny jeans? If you like skinny jeans, like I do, you want to wear them. Sometimes I can't wear mine. You certainly don't want to go on yet another diet in order to do so. You're probably insanely frustrated on diet after diet after diet if that's the industry that you work in. Okay, so basically what you're going to do is you are going to determine first what you want to be called, because there are a million different names for what we do. You can call yourself a nutritionist. You can call yourself a certified nutrition specialist, a clinical nutritionist, a functional nutritionist, an integrative nutritionist. So I think it's really important to understand what you want to be called so that you have some uniformity across the spectrum of how you introduce yourself. You really need to know who you serve. So what is your niche and who is your ideal client avatar? So your niche is the area that you want to be in. Yes, nutrition is a niche of healthcare. However, there are a gazillion different niches inside of nutrition or inside herbalism or inside, acupuncture, things like that. You want to narrow that down as much as possible. And you do that by developing an ideal client avatar. It's a fictitious person that marks all the boxes of the type of person that you want to help them with whatever problem they're dealing with. And you would come up with that in your USP. So when you're doing an ideal client avatar, you want to make sure that you know, are they a man or are they a woman? Are they, maybe they hold a specific career field. So for instance, I have seen a few nutritionists do nutrition for first responders. So it's not necessarily for a male or a female, but it's very specific to a population. So first responders. You could do nutrition for registered nurses or nutrition for physicians, nutrition for elite athletes, nutrition for football players, right? So there's a lot of different niches in that area. You could do weight loss. If you want to do weight loss, you need to determine, is it men? Is it women? Is it young people? Is it older people? Maybe you want to focus on peri and postmenopause. Maybe you want to help women go through the transition in life with ease. Or help them go through the transition without a gazillion and 7 different hot flashes. That's my word for the day, gazillion. So you really want to make sure that you understand who you serve, because in order for you to come up with your USP using the words that they would use, you have to know those words. And if you don't know who your ICA is, if you don't understand who you're serving, you're not going to be able to come up with those words accurately. So those are really important pieces. So determine who you, what you want to be called, and then determine who it is that you serve. Really kind of narrow it down and get into the weeds about it. After that, you want to understand what you're going to help them with and translate it into the words that they would use. Again, if you don't understand who you're serving, you're not going to be able to do steps 3 and step 4. Those are really important steps. Once you've kind of figured that out, you want to write it out, refine it, write it out, refine it. Coming up with an elevator pitch is not something that happens within 20 minutes or even a day. You will consistently need to refine your elevator pitch until it really is narrowed and focused and people can easily understand it, but they can also easily relate to it, more so the people that are in your ICA or your niche than anybody else. Once you're really happy with how your elevator pitch is coming together, you need to practice it. And you need to practice it over and over and over again. Practice it in the mirror. Practice it to anybody in your house, whether that's your parents, your siblings, your kids, your partner, whomever you want to practice it with. You need to practice it because you need to feel really comfortable in saying it. Because like I said at the beginning, your elevator pitch is something that just kind of rolls off the tongue at the moment that somebody says, oh, what do you do? As soon as somebody says, what do you do? I am Sunny Brigham. I'm a board certified clinical and integrated nutritionist, and I help women with Hashimoto's ditch the fatigue and lose weight without going on yet another diet. That's what I do. So You want to be very specific in what you say, how you say it, who you're saying it to, but you need to have the confidence in what you're saying. Okay, so hopefully we're going to stop sharing this. So hopefully everybody has some good notes. If you didn't, you want to make sure that you come back and take some notes and practice and practice and practice. And I would love for you to post your elevator pitches in the group so that we can definitely start to refine those a little bit. Because if we don't understand them, then your ICA is probably not going to understand them. So if you're working on your elevator pitch, definitely drop it in the group and let us help you refine that a little bit. All right, I'll see y'all around. Bye.